Now, you'll have to excuse Holly here, and I can't do this, but I am asked literally every other day about cleaning what happens when your pet pees on your carpet. So I'm going to go through it all. Long video, but worth it. The only way to get rid of a smell completely is to remove it completely. Now, obviously, if your pet pees on your sheets, you wash your sheets, you rinse your sheets in cool water, put them in the washing machine, and you get all of the urine out. And if all of the urine is out, there will be no smell. Things like mattresses, you can't put them in the machine or under the tap, although you can turn them on their side and sponge them down, which will work really well, and then blot them with towels. Now, carpets though, you can't put those in the washing machine. So we're ignoring the large black. The best thing to use, if you have got one, is one of these little spot cleaners. There we go. I've got a Rug Doctor one because I recommended them so much they gave me one. There are other brands available. If you can hire them, they won't be these little ones, they'll be the big ones that do the carpets as well, but they have an upholstery nozzle. You can hire them. If you can't get hold of one and you can borrow a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, that will also work. And if that won't work, then you use things like towels. Get an old stack of towels and then use those. Instead of sucking the water out, you blot the water out. So what you're aiming to do is use some kind of carpet shampoo. Now, I always keep that in the shed. That's the Dr. Beckman one. That's really good. It's got an enzyme in it. And I also keep some of this stuff. And you can also buy sprays. Now, the first thing you do is, however you do it, you use warm water, and you can use peroxide in that water, and you put clean water down. You let it dilute the urine, and you get rid of it either by sucking it off with a vacuum extraction machine or blotting it off with a towel. You keep going with that until as much as you think you've got it all off, and it can be quite a long time, especially if you're doing it with towels, but you can wash those and then hang them up. After you have got it as clean and dry as you possibly can, you've washed as much urine out, then you use something like that, which is an enzyme. Now, you can also buy the sprays. Now, here's the thing. The enzymes in those shampoos and the enzymes in the sprays do not work immediately. They don't work by covering up the smell. They work by putting bacteria and enzymes in that break down the parts of urine that do smell. So they can take some time to work. And also, carpets will carry on smelling while they're damp, because damp things smell, but when they're bone dry, the smell is much less noticeable. So you do have to be patient. But the quicker you can get to a mark and get rid of it, the better. For example, if you don't have one of those spot machines, although, side note, if you can afford one and you have got pets and children, honestly, they're between about 100 and 200 quid, depending on the model. Buy one, it can save you a fortune, because you can get to marks quickly. Any mark, red wine as well. Get it, any mark, the fresher it is, the easier it is to remove, and that's the same with wee. So if you can't get to it with a vacuum machine, then spray it with clean water and blot with a towel. Get as much up as you can, as fast as you can. And if you don't have one, go around to your neighbours and borrow their wet and dry vac, or go to the shop and hire a Rug Doctor or something. And if you can't do that, carry on with the towels. But so there's the idea. You need to physically remove as much as possible, and then there will usually be a little bit left in the carpet, and then you put on the enzymes, and they will take a week or two to munch away at the byproducts that cause the smell and break them down, and that should do it. And if you've got a dog or a cat that keeps weeing, while it is working, put something over it, because they will still be able to smell it, and they may well keep peeing in the same spot. If you cover it, then they'll go back to the same spot and pee, but then you wash the covering and put a clean covering down, and underneath it the old mark is getting away and fading away, and that way you should hopefully save yourself a lot of bother. And now I'm going to see if this video